Everyone loves that WWE fatality. Well, unless it sucks. Did you even watch that? I didn't. In my opinion, a finishing move is very important, and I always use Randy Orton as an example. You show Randy Orton someone who doesn't watch wrestling. He may not know Randy Orton, but he'd be like, yeah, the funny wine guy, TikTok, or KO guy. And some finishers are so ingrained into wrestler's character that it's hard to even imagine someone like Triple H not using a pedigree, Randy not using the RKO, or Shawn Michaels not using the super kick. Like, what? I already talked about the worst WWE finishers of 2022, and I gotta be honest, it was so easier to select the good ones because we have quite a few. I even had to clean up my list because I had like 25 good WWE finishers. Believe it or not, most finishers on Raw and SmackDown are actually decent. I was left with 14 finishers, so let's talk about it. But before that, I want to introduce you guys to today's sponsor, Yahaha. Yahaha is a brand new user-generated content creation platform for 3D multiplayer interactive experience. With Yahaha, anyone can create and publish their virtual experiences. It's a lot of fun, but what also makes it so special is the fact that you can build the creation without coding experience or server knowledge. Yes, no coding creating experience needed. Simply use the components and smart assets in Yahaha Studio to make your dream games. It also has a multiplayer mode. Yahaha supports multiplayer playing simultaneously, so your friends can join you in Yahaha games and other immersive 3D events. And you can also make new friends at any time in Yahaha, so make sure to try it out. Click the link in the description and join Yahaha's early access for free. Yes, it's not gonna cost you anything. I think the RKO is a good way to start because it's really predictable. Y'all know this finisher is going to end up in the list. Not only is it a beautiful wrestling move, an amazing finisher, Randy Orton's signature, it's the most mainstream wrestling move of all time. Some people who don't watch wrestling will see a stunner and will be like, wow, that's a great RKO. No, it was not an RKO. You're just dumb. It's beautiful, there are so many ways to hit it. As a matter of fact, Randy Orton has like 15 different versions of the RKO that happened over the years. Beautiful, out of nowhere, realistic, love it. Another move I really like is 619. Now, it may not look that realistic, it takes some time to set it up, but the payoff is worth it. Rey Mysterio also did different variations of the move. Obviously, he does the 619, and then he just goes from there, you know, it's always different. But I don't believe Rey Mysterio ever tried to pin someone after just hitting the 619. It's a really interesting finisher. It's one of these rare exceptions when a finisher may not look really realistic. Sometimes it's goofy, but it's just too beautiful not to like it. But Rey Mysterio has a rule.
Do not ever hit Dom with a 619. That's not booyaka.
Let's talk about some young guys. Montez Ford's frog splash is a thing of beauty. In general, a frog splash is amazing, whether it's a finisher or not. I think RVD did a great frog splash, Eddie Guerrero did a great frog splash, but Montez Ford's frog splash looks like an entirely different move. It's so high, it's so impactful. The way he lands, just a thing of beauty, and brings back that prestige to a frog splash. Really hard to disagree with that one, right? In my opinion, one of the most underrated finishers of all time, the bro kick. Hopefully I'll find the picture, but have you seen the screenshot of Sheamus hitting the bro kick to Wade Barrett back in the day? Like, that's supposed to hurt. It's weird because it's just a big boot, but it's kinda not. And a lot of times it obviously depends on who's selling the move, but if you watch Dolph Ziggler sell that goddamn bro kick, you fell in love with that move. It's quick, out of nowhere, different ways to hit it. We even got some catching ones over the years. Definitely one of my favorite WWE finishers of all time. I believe KOD is the best women's finisher in the WWE right now. It really fits her character. She is portrayed as a strong woman, so she lifts her opponent, and we get a good payoff as well. There are also many ways to hit the move. I could be wrong, maybe I forgot someone, but I believe this is the best women's finisher in the WWE right now. It seems like Ricochet has plenty of finishers right now and none of them are bad, but 630 Senton deserves some love. I don't care how you feel about it. Flippy flippers, flippy, whatever the case may be, you may not like that type of wrestling. I don't give a shit. Ricochet doing that move is just out of this world. He's like a video game character, and if you show that shit to a non-wrestling fan, he would be like, okay, I may not like this. I prefer movies with zombies walking around. because it's not fake, but I gotta be honest, that was impressive. Say what you will about Baron Corbin, but his finisher is a thing of beauty. End of days, one of the most protected WWE finishers of all time. It's one of these finishers that may take some time to set it up, but again, the payoff is worth it. It's a thing of beauty, also many ways to hit it. It's a finisher I believe we've never seen before, and I absolutely love it. Now that's a tricky one. Gunta's finisher is a powerbomb, which looks great, you know, but I'm not putting it in the list. I'm actually talking about the lariat. Like, I'm not even sure if it's officially a finisher, but he did won some matches with it, and it looks absolutely unbelievable. Gunta doing a lariat, I mean, it's believable. Trouble in Paradise doesn't get enough love. I don't remember seeing anyone complimenting the finisher, but it's so beautiful. Sometimes it even goes too far, which is great, it's entertaining. But again, it's one of these out of nowhere finishers. It's a striking finisher, you know, like super kick or bro kick, and it just works. It's believable. You kick someone in the face. I feel like it's kinda underrated. Speaking of striking moves, super kick is always a super kick. Yes, maybe it's being overused right now as not a finisher, which is kind of a shame. I get it. I get your concerns. The Young Bucks need to stop. But in general, a super kick is a super kick, always will be a goddamn super kick. And Dolph Ziggler, a tremendous wrestler doing a super kick, it works for me. Let's talk about AJ Styles. I was considering whether I should put Styles Clash or Phenomenal Forearm, but I honestly prefer the Phenomenal Forearm. Just a very different move. At first glance, it may not even look that interesting, but it just works for his character, and every time he hits it, I pop. I can't even explain why, but I absolutely love this move. Using Claymore is one of the best decisions Drew McIntyre made in his entire life. One thing you probably learned from this video is that striking finishers just work. It's also one of these moves that depends on who's selling it, but almost every time it looks really, really beautiful. And it's not like he had a bad finisher before. Future Shock was great. You know, DDT is underrated, should be used more. But this one's simple, it makes sense, you kick someone in the face, I love it. When WWE are going to come up with some stupid shit like, I'm going to welcome you to Claymore Town. That's gotta happen, right? Spear is a finisher that is being used by many superstars. Currently Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, and Edge. And honestly, I love them all. Edge used to do a pretty lame spear. Let's be honest, he just, you know, hugged his opponent with all the passion. It's interesting how Edge had to retire due to injuries, came back, and his spear actually improved. I actually like his spear, right? I didn't even, you know, hate it back then, but now I love his spear. Bobby's spear is really good as well. He rolls over during it, which looks just absolutely beautiful. And Roman's spear is Roman's spear. It's just a spear, but it has a lot of impact. Maybe Goldberg is not necessarily a current WWE wrestler, but he comes back for Saudi sometimes when he needs a bigger paycheck. So I'm going to include Goldberg as well. Just say whatever you want about this guy, but he does an amazing spear. You know why? Because he doesn't know how to wrestle. He just strikes you and he's like, I'll see what happens. And to end this video, one of the most innovating finishers of all time, the curb stomp. I love this move. At one point it was actually banned. Then Seth Rollins tried to use different finishers, including a pedigree, which it just never worked. When I see someone doing a pedigree, I think about Triple H. Curb stomp is a perfect finisher because it also can come out of nowhere. So many different ways to hit it. Use, you know, objects, weapons, whatever you want to do. It's so different. It's so ingrained into Seth Rollins' character. I believe it's literally a perfect finisher, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it's underrated. Everyone knows this finisher is great. You just stomp someone's head into the ground. Yeah, I think that's believable. I think I would get knocked out. Maybe I'd lose a couple of teeth. I'm buying it. So curb stomp is absolutely unbelievable. These are my favorite WWE finishers of 2022. It's easy, but at the same time really hard to decide which ones I'm going to include. Let me know yours in the comments below. The great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.